a lot of people are like, okay, so what do I actually do? How do I actually practice this? How do I get better at it? How do I get so that it's fast in my head and it's not clunky and feeling unnatural? And for me, the obvious endpoint for that is the moves. Just practicing the moves. So in a way, I think we should spend a little time just saying, how do we practice? How do we get better? I think that's what's on everybody's mind. People want to change. They want to get better at thinking. They want to have better outcomes in their life. And they just want to know what to do, to actually do.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that the starting point is the moves. The moves are what we call a Pareto law. The research shows it's a Pareto law that is like an 80-20 rule. So you put essentially 20% of the effort gets you kind of 80% of the results, let's say. And the moves are a Pareto law. The 5 moves are a Pareto law that for cognition.
Right.
So it's a starting point. If you want to get the last 20%, like all sports and all things that require human performance, the first 80% will take 20% of the time, and the last 20% of performance will take 80% of the time and effort. Right? So you can get pretty good at, throwing the javelin or something like that.
That is the most random example.
It's
of
like
all the
Olympic
things
sport.
You could have said, basketball, soccer, yoga, anything that most people...
Well, I was thinking Olympics, right? So
javelin.
You can get pretty good at throwing the javelin. Like if you went out and practiced throwing the javelin for like an hour, you'd probably be better than 80% of the population at throwing the javelin.
Given that not many people
that's kind of wacky if you think about it. If you just spent an hour throwing the javelin, you'd probably be better at throwing a javelin than most of the population. Now, to get to the Olympics, you're going to have to spend, 80% of the effort to get that last 20%. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to be better than everybody.
So the moves are Pareto law of cognition, where if you practice these 5 moves, you're going to get most of the value.
Right.
But it is a start because there's some tremendous value that happens beyond the moves in understanding DSRP, the 4-8-3 dynamics, and all those kinds of things.
You'll get the best return on your investment if you focus your time on these first 5 moves, because you're going to get most of the way there.
Yeah.
And definitely much further than most people who aren't practicing the moves.
Absolutely.
Right.